All right, I'm not gonna lie, I am pretty pumped right now. We just picked up a dope collection. There's your headliner, the Mega Charizard EX. What's going on, everybody? This is Kevin again, and I am at KevLija Poke Center on TCGPlayer. The purpose of this channel is to highlight my journey as a seller on TCGPlayer. So the first video that I posted was about a month ago or so, and that was just my journey to get to seller level 4. I had to get to 51 sales, and I did in about 3 weeks. Now it's like, where do I go from here? So there's some exclusive tools that TCGPlayer will give you when you get to level 4. I'm going to highlight that a little bit in this next video. And I'm also just going to continue to be real about the challenges I'm still experiencing, like card conditioning, things I've learned about selling bulk, sorting bulk. I have an inventory upgrade I'm going to highlight in this video because I was starting to run out of space and it was not convenient at all the way I had it set up. And then finally, I have a really awesome highlight of a collection I picked up that was absolutely perfect. I had to bide my time and be patient and wait for just the right collection and the right moment. And it came, and it was Ascended Heroes and Phantasmal Flames, and I got a really good deal, and the cards I've already probably sold half of them. So yeah, thus far I'm about 2.5 months in, about 4,000 in sales, so not too bad. And this is just going to be a continuation, again, kind of a progress report of where I'm at. And I threw in one little surprise at the end for you guys as well. So again, if you're just connecting with me, it's awesome to meet you. Awesome to connect with you. I look forward to growing in this space, building this community, and God bless you guys. Truly, thank you. And we will see you on the next one. Check this out. All right, guys. As you know, I made it to seller level 4. Woo woo. And I've kind of been dormant for the last few weeks, just getting started on my new full-time job, again, in the mortgage industry. I started with a new company. So kind of just let a slow trickle of sales go through. So there wasn't really much activity, maybe a sale every other day or so. But now we've got some time. We've got a handle on the new job. I launched my first long video on my YouTube channel. So that's exciting. And first thing we're gonna do is get all of our vintage bulk listed. All right, so as you guys can see, I have utilized here the export feature on the base set bulk that I'm working on. You can see I've added to the quantities in this column and updated prices for all of that base set bulk. So I got plenty about to go into my inventory all in one shot. So I'm gonna make sure that's saved, and I'm gonna come into my pricing tab, and we are going to import to staged, and this is the one we just saved right here. That's uploading. It's gonna be some errors, but that's okay. So ignore, save updates, and view stage inventory. Now I can see exactly what I've just uploaded, and they're all listed. Bam, that's pretty cool. Then what I'll do is move to live, and from search results, continue. And now it says it's updated, so we're gonna see. I had several psychic energies, right? So just come in here, bam, it just went live. All those quantities, I had 6 of them spread out, and it went right in. And that is our lovely export, which is a feature exclusive to seller level 4. We are now seller level 4, and that's awesome, right? And as some might say, now the real work begins. One of the things I had to learn was conditioning, okay? So these cards I had sent out, this was actually one of my first 51 orders to get me to level 4. The conditions were not agreed on, and there's a couple of ways in which you can handle that. One of which is you can, agree to send them the cards back, and you have to send out a prepaid shipping label on the supplies. You can also offer refunds, and they suggest kind of at 10% increments for each level that it's down from where it was sold. For example, these cards, most of them were sold at moderately played. The customer claimed they're heavily played, And turns out that 10% was only about $7 overall for him. And so he opted to have the cards returned, right? And you know, I had to eat those costs, right, of the shipping, and it is what it is. Now, is this a heavily played card? You have some clear wear on the scratches, that's no doubt, right? And then on the back, you definitely have the wear on the edges in these different spots as well, right? But I mean, I wouldn't say it's completely egregious. And this is where it just becomes to a point subjective, right? Now there's a point system in TCGPlayer. How many of these count as the edge wear? What's the percentage? What counts as grime versus defect, faults, all these kinds of things. There are clear scratches. So look, you know, we could be very conservative and, you know, kind of agree with the customer, honestly. Somebody might get away with moderately played. Clearly, I did not. And you can see the two marks as well right here. But just an example of, especially with vintage cards, these cards are like 25 years old or more. So it's just, I guess, a lesson of do your best within the guidelines TCG provides. We got a Clefable. So condition-wise, clearly scratches on the hollow. We got one large scratch as well. Now that's probably a good inch, right? So we're gonna go back and look at the guidelines. All right, so I'm on TCGPlayer. We got the card conditioning standards. I'm gonna post the link here in the description, but let's go down to where it talks about scratches and go down here to scratch. We can see greater than 40 millimeters. Now we just looked at a scratch that we thought was about an inch, and 40 millimeters is more than an inch. Okay, I think we're less than 45% of the card itself. And again, just to pull this back up, you can see that scratch. It's pretty long, but it's not almost 50% of the card. So look, I'm just doing my best judgment. I am early in these stages of learning all the conditioning, but let me know what you guys think and just in terms of conditioning on that one. Remember what I said about loving sorting bulk. I got all this Phantasmal Flames bulk to sort through next. Versus, set them in alphabetical order. That's what this whole pile is. And I can go in here and just set the prices. So here's what's kind of crazy. I had some old, worn down, heavily played, kind of mid-modern. This is Alamama, whatever, however you say that, XY Phantom Forces. And believe it or not, these are kind of hitting your target. I mean, some of these market prices get weird here because you see like 6 cents for moderate played, but 27 cents because it has to do with the last sale. But I mean, who knows? If I can get rid of some of these at $0.25 a pop, that'll work. All right. So we've updated our inventory. We got some orders. That's pretty cool right there. Little return label for Leafeon. So here is my refined technique for packing orders. I got the packing slip all wrapped. Got some orders going. Let's go. I am pretty pumped right now. I picked up a collection and it's got everything that was listed, but he threw in all the bulk, a few extra bells and whistles. Man, now this is a great pickup. Honestly, I got even more than I bargained for, which is a huge win. And this is all newer stuff. I had to learn my lesson because in the first couple collections I picked up, I was just drawn to vintage and I was buying stuff that was old and dirty, and I still love it and it's still selling, but it's a lot easier when everything's near mint. Everything's newer, a lot of illustration wares, things that are selling quickly, they're popular, and so this is definitely the most fire pickup so far. There's your headliner, the Mega Charizard EX, and we got plenty of other goods in there. He even threw in some bulk. These are not sealed packs, but bulk, Phantasmal and Ascended, and even some UPC boxes. Some other stuff. We're gonna end up sorting through all this. I wish I could tell you that this was a sealed UPC. I wish I could tell you that these were all sealed packs, but no. He pulled out all the hits and left the rest in the packs that were still kind of open. But plenty of bulk, plenty of hits, and we had a great, and Lando loves it. Lando, what do you think? He loves it. See, he's like, wow, what is this? Check it out. We're still piecing together, sorting our latest pickup. And again, I'm just over the moon. And look, you know, we got one major hit, the Charizard. Ooh, there it is. That's already listed. Man, I love gold. By the way, I am like opening up to how freaking awesome some of this new artwork is. Like, I was like honestly stuck on vintage and just really like, look at this with the Pokemon Center. Now, speaking of vintage, we do got to shout this out. The Pokemon Center in the background, come on. But just all this artwork is so awesome. And again, I'm like opening up to just how cool the newer stuff is. I mean, Ascended Heroes, Phantasmal Flames, absolute fire sets. I am like a kid in the candy store. Now, to get this sorted is a whole other challenge. And I don't know if this is gonna be a sufficient enough space anymore. So we are doing an inventory setup update. We're gonna take our inventory out from here. And we just ordered a whole cabinet. And I'm gonna get to work on that. We have successfully installed our inventory storage. Not exceedingly huge right now, but our shipping supplies. Bam. Busiest week so far. Ascended Heroes continues to ascend. Right, Yuki? Oh, I didn't show you guys. Let me show you guys this, by the way. Because look what I had made. Yuki, I had Yuki's own custom Pokemon card. Snow Fling is her special. Handles her business in the snow, flings it all over the opponent. This can either poison or freeze the opponent. Now, I will post a link to the person that created these cards. They're pretty clean. Yuki, ha! And then this one over there. Oh, there she goes. Pepper. We got her. There she is. She's a scaredy cat. Griffin is over there. Oh, and Lando. There's Griffin. You can see him sitting down. It's gonna kind of go in and out of focus, but there he is. And Lando's over there too. There's Lando, psychic type, lurk. He's lurking right now. Look at him, Black Cat. Whoop. Spaz, it's a pretty good attack for him. And we can't forget Ozzy, the Maine Coon, since he carries the most static electricity with his long fur. Ozzy, he is the electric cat. Come on. Paw strike. Look at those paws. Serious paws. So he's got the paw strike, static shock going. And there he is. Sniffing his own Pokemon card. And last but not least, we cannot forget our girl. We believe it's a girl, Curly. So here's Curly. And we have her card listed as well. You can see the holo. She's apparently afraid. But you got that fire type, bask, and bite. Come on. There she is. It's Kevlijah Poke Center. Follow me on YouTube. Check out my store on TCGPlayer.com. And God bless you guys.